Have you noticed that we have unprecedented last days activity going on? Mr. Barack Obama has fundamentally transformed America, but he doesn't want to stop there. He wants to fundamentally transform the world. Now, current UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, his term is scheduled to end December 31st as Secretary General of the UN, and that's just 21 days before President Obama's term in office is also scheduled to end. Now, according to various media sources, including the Jerusalem Post, informed sources are telling us that Mr. Obama has already floated the idea of running for Secretary General of the UN with some Democrats and others. By the way, a popular Israeli newspaper featured a cartoon very recently suggesting that Mr. Obama wants to be king of the world. All of this has implications, and I want to talk about that for the next few minutes. Eric Barger is in studio with me. Eric, your response to what I've just said?
We've seen this in the past, that presidents have always started looking for work toward the end of their term. And why they would want to do that, I'm not sure, but they're not done making whatever impact they've tried to make. This is definitely the most pointed effort that we've seen when you consider that not only has newspapers around the world begun to pick up this story, but that political leaders are also talking about it too. So I think it's something we do have to talk about if we're going to understand the times.
Benjamin Netanyahu weighed in when he heard this, and this is a quote from him. This was taken out of a Kuwaiti newspaper and the Jerusalem Post. He says, quote, "Wasn't 8 years of having Barack Obama in office enough? 8 years during which he ignored Israel, and now he wants to be in a position where he is liable to cause us greater hardship in the international arena," close quote. And that is something that is concerning many, because the anti-Israel sentiment, Eric, in the United Nations is staggering.
It is, and the same token, it appears that he has some of his Arab neighbors who are on board with him, so that's an interesting point to it, too.
I think I need to point out that a covenant is going to be made with Israel. That comes out of Daniel 9, a covenant that is likely going to involve the United Nations. It's certainly going to involve a world body, and I don't think we have time to create another world body beyond the United Nations. All of this is going to take place in the tribulation period, and that involves the major role of someone known as the Antichrist. Now, is the Antichrist the head of the UN? We do not know that, nor, and I don't think, Eric, we are not suggesting that Barack Obama is the Antichrist. That is not the purpose of this segment. Rather, that this story that has recently broken here in early January to mid-January is simply more stage setting for what's going to happen in the tribulation.
I think that's really important for us to bring out, because no one's going to know who the Antichrist or the false prophet is until that time happens. I think we can speculate without being out of hand. We can certainly point out that the characteristics are there, or that someone is acting in that way or has some of the likenesses of what the scripture tell us, but we don't know who either of those individuals are going to be at this point in time. I'm sure there are people who disagree with us on that, but I'm not going to go out on that limb and make that statement, basically paint ourselves into any kind of corner that is improvable at this point in time. Well, let's stay with the facts.
Yeah, the facts are UN officials say they hope a list of candidates will be completed by March 2016, and that the Security Council will begin its selection process next summer, probably July. And this also marks the first year the world body's 193 members were directly encouraged to consider putting forward, listen to this, a woman for the top position. Now, the 15-member Security Council, including veto powers from China, Russia, the United States, Britain, and France, traditionally considers an undisclosed list behind closed doors and recommends a candidate to be elected by the General Assembly. And this is important, folks. No former leader of a major power, and that would be such as the U.S., no former leader of a major power or permanent member of the Security Council, which includes the U.S., has ever been elected to the post of United Nations Secretary General. And although it's not a direct policy, it has been this way for 70 years to keep any one country from having too much global influence. So the odds would seem to be stacked against Mr. Obama being able to secure such a position. But Eric, I think that we are in a world of rapidly changing traditions and alliances. I think anything is possible.
If anybody, Jan, is going to do this, it would be Obama, because he's gone out of his way to say to the world, hey, America is too big for their britches. We're going to bring them down a few notches. These are the things that he's done throughout his term, and he's proven that he's friendlier to other parts of the world than he is to his own people here.
All right, I'd like to move on to another story because it falls in the same category of unprecedented last days activity. And we talk frequently here on this program, folks, and you are listening to Understanding the Chimes Radio. I'm Jan Markell, and Eric Barger and I are covering a couple of late-breaking stories. We talk here about a one-world religion very frequently. You know, I recently interviewed someone about the Parliament of World Religions. We talk about Pope Francis often, and he is back in the news because recently the Vatican released a video of Pope Francis stating that all religions are so similar that they should come together as one. The Pope says all religions are on the same path to the same God. Now, we have this clip and we have a voiceover going to interpret what he's saying for you.
Most of the planet's inhabitants declare themselves believers. This should lead to dialogue among religions. We should not stop praying for it and collaborating with those who think differently. The Lama says, I have confidence in Buddha. The rabbi says, I believe in God. The Catholic priest says, I believe in Jesus Christ. The Islamic leader says, I believe in God, Allah. Many think differently, feel differently, seeking God or meeting God in different ways. In this crowd, in this range of religions, there is only one certainty we have for all. We are all children of God. The Lama says, I believe in love. The rabbi says, I believe in love. The Islamic leader says, I believe in love. The Catholic priest says, I believe in love. I hope you will spread my prayer requests this month, that sincere dialogue among men and women of different faiths may produce the fruits of peace and justice. I have confidence in your prayers.
Eric, he says that while people from various global faiths may be, quote, seeking God or meeting God in different ways, quote, that it is important to keep in mind that we, quote, are all children of God, close quote. This is the most recent example that shows that the Pope has completely abandoned, in my opinion anyway,